welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining in. It is finally chill in the air. It is autumn season. I have worn my fall colors and lit some candles. It is the perfect time to switch from iced tea to hot coffee and cuddle up in a blanket with a very nice book. Fall is definitely my favorite reading season of all times. I feel like this is the time when I pick up a lot of books. This is the time when I actually get into the mood of reading. I mean, all throughout summer, I'm busy doing other stuff, but fall is when I do not want to get off my bed and just stay there with a really nice book. I personally really like to read books that are very atmospheric, fantasy, dark academia, and give off these fall vibes during this season. And one of you guys very sweetly asked me for book recommendations. So I thought I will start with some fall themed book recommendations for you guys. Now, a very quick disclaimer, I am not much of a reader. I read like 12 books per year, and I know that's not at all a big number to a lot of you guys. I have seen people who read over 100 books per year. But I feel like if you read even one book a year, you are a reader. I'm not one to gatekeep anyone from this community, and I am not going to let anyone keep me out of this community either. Keeping that in mind, let's just jump into my all-time favorite books that I particularly love reading and rereading in fall. The first book that I'd like to recommend to you guys is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Now, this book has had its shining moment on BookTok and on BookTube and everywhere else. I feel like this was the most hyped book of last year. I personally love this book, but I feel like the reviews I've read are either it's people's favorite book of all time or people just didn't like it at all. I am on this side of the spectrum where I absolutely adore and love everything about this book. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is a story of a girl born in 1700s in a small town in France, and she makes a deal gone bad with this darkness, devil, a god that answers after dark, where she asks him for immortality and he grants that to her, but she's also cursed to be forgotten by everyone who meets her as soon as she is out of their sight. It's a literal out of sight, out of mind situation. And we follow the life of Addie through the years where she visits these amazing places all throughout the world during different times and sees history actually take place. And then 300 years later, in present day New York, she meets someone who remembers her. I feel like V.E. Schwab has the most amazing writing style of all. It is so atmospheric. I mean, we go through life with Addie and you get to learn and live through her vicariously, and it's so amazing to see what she's seeing, to experience what she's experiencing, to actually experience life. And this book has sort of a dark academia vibe. It's a historical fantasy, so I feel like it's the perfect fit for a fall read. My second recommendation for fall reads is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Frankenstein is actually a very well-known classic. It's kind of a name synonymous with horror. Actually, I heard a lot about Frankenstein before ever reading Frankenstein, but the story that I had in mind was actually completely different from the book. The book, however, as I said, is synonymous to horror. So you just know it's perfect for fall. And the gothic writing and the gothic setting of this book is just perfect for this season. So if you're someone who would like to start reading classics, this is the book for you. Next book that I would recommend to you guys is another BookTok loved book. BookTok actually made me read this book, and it is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Fantasy as a genre is my favorite, and this book is my current favorite. I mean, I'm obsessed with this book right now. I'm obsessed with its characters right now. I was hooked on this book with just the prologue, and I finished the trilogy in 3 days. There's 3 books, the Folk of the Year trilogy. I finished it in 3 days because that's how good and so addictive and so immersive these books are. Holly Black has created the kingdom of Elfhame in Feyland, and it's such a wonderful place, and the characters are so good. I feel like Jude is one of my favorite protagonists of all times. Anyone who's interested in corruption arcs and characters, anyone who's interested in morally grey characters, anyone who's interested in court politics, and stories where you do not see the plot twist coming until they hit you like a gut punch. The Folk of the Air trilogy is for you. Also, continuing on the theme of fantasy, a book with, feral female leads, and a book where the plot twist is so good it hits you like a gut punch. My next recommendation is Vampire Academy by Rochelle Beat. I feel like just like Jude, Rose is also kind of a really badass protagonist. I really love the books where the female protagonist is, absolutely feral and she's ready to kill anyone who stands between her and her beliefs and her goals. Does that say something about me? Yes. Is that positive in any way? No. I remember reading the Vampire Academy series back when I was in school and being absolutely obsessed with them. There's 6 books in the series, and then there's also a spin-off called Bloodlines, which has my favorite character from the series as the main character, so I had to read those as well. So that's like 12 books that I read in high school. Absolutely obsessed with these series for many coming years, and then they made a movie about it and they butchered it so bad. So just in case you're someone who hasn't read the books and, I don't know, by some very bad luck stumbled upon the movie and watched it, please don't judge the books by the movies. The books have a very much more darker feel to them, whereas the movie was kind of made like this vampire mean girls thing, which the books are not. They're also making a show about Vampire Academy, and I'm kind of scared, kind of hopeful. The shooting's still going on for it, so I have my fingers crossed. I hope it's good. If you're someone who is looking for completed fantasy series, Vampire Academy and the following 12 books, that has to cover you for the entire fall season in itself. But still, moving on with the recommendations, the next book that I would recommend is They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman. This one was recommended to me because of my love for Gossip Girl, and I get it. I mean, I get the Gossip Girl elements of it. It's about these teenagers in this really elite school, which is very Gossip Girly. But I feel like this book was much more resembling Pretty Little Liars than Gossip Girl, and Pretty Little Liars has a very fall feel to it. This is a murder thriller and a murder mystery, and I feel like murder mysteries are very perfect for fall season. In my entire lineup, I think this is the only book that is not fantasy. But yeah, it's fun for a weekend read or a quick read, or if you're someone who is in a reading slump, it really gets you out of it. This is the book that got me out of my reading slump, and it's fun. It's generally just a fun read, even though it's a murder mystery. It's just a fun read. As I said, if you're someone who likes Gossip Girl or Pretty Little Liars, pick this up. Stepping back into the fantasy realm but staying in the murder mystery line, my next recommendation is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Mills Calico. It is the story of 2 twin sisters who are witches, one of whom is murdered, and the other one tries to solve her murder, and in that process mistakenly ties herself to this Prince of Hell, who now is going to help her with this search for killer. It's a Prince of Hell, so matlab, how much help can you expect from him though? I feel like if any book was specially written to be read in the season of fall, Kingdom of the Wicked is it. Everything about this book. This book is kind of a historical fantasy, a murder mystery, an enemies to lovers kind of thing. I'm not sure about the lovers part yet because they have not gotten there in the first book at least. It's, I think, going to be a trilogy, I'm not sure. The second book hasn't come out yet in India. It is going to very soon, late October, early November. But it has gotten out in US, UK, other parts of Europe also, I guess. Kingdom of the Cursed is actually going to be my next read. So if you're someone who has read Kingdom of the Wicked, or you're gonna read Kingdom of the Wicked because of this video, we might read Kingdom of the Cursed together. Which also gives me an idea, how about I also make reading vlogs, because I love seeing reading vlogs, and if you guys would like me to make them, I would love to make reading vlogs as well. Anyway, Kingdom of the Wicked has this really good atmosphere to it. It is set in Italy, in the older times in Italy, where witches are still burnt for being witches. And our protagonist also works in this restaurant. Her family owns this restaurant, so we get a lot of scenes of her, cooking meals in the restaurant or just talking about food. And Carrie Miscalco has such a good way of writing that I feel like I can actually smell the food and, understand how it tastes. And I really get hungry while reading the book. I have read this book twice because I wanted to understand what was going on in all honesty. But yeah, both the times I read this book, I got really hungry every time. I am really excited to read Kingdom of the Cursed next. This is absolutely going to be my next read. The next book recommendation is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Shadow and Bone, if you don't know, Netflix just released the first season of Shadow and Bone earlier this year. And when they announced the trailer, when the trailer came out, I actually saw the trailer and I loved it. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I should totally read this book before I watch the show. And so I read it. I read the first book, that is Shadow and Bones, and I also read the second book, that is Siege and Storm. And then I watched the show. The show came out. I watched them, and there was this whole plot B going on that I was absolutely unaware about. I was like, okay, maybe I should have read Ruin and Rising as well. So I stopped watching the show in between, like 3-4 episodes in, really confused. I started reading Ruin and Rising. I read Ruin and Rising, then I started watching the show again. I still don't know who those characters are. And then I see comments, and turns out there is a spin off of this show. And this is it, the spin off, Six of Crows. And that plot B is the characters from this book. I talked about that earlier, another vlog of mine when I was reading this book. This is my next recommendation. I'm going to talk about these two books together. So, these are set in Grishaverse. Now, what are Grisha? Grisha are these random people within the population who have magic in them. They're basically witches and wizards, but the name is Grisha. Now, in Shadow and Bone, the story is told from the point of view of Alina Starkov, who belongs to the country of Ravka. She is a cartographer or a map maker, and the problem with Ravka is that they have this big fold, a shadow fold, and splits the country into two parts, the east and west Ravka, and to go from one part to another, you have to cross the shadow fold. The problem with crossing the shadow fold is one, it is a fold made of shadows, it is very dark inside, and two, it is filled with monsters who eat people called the Volcra. The story starts when she has to first cross the shadow fold, and when she crosses it, her ship is attacked, and somehow they all survive because the legendary, the prophesized Sun Summoner is there on the ship. And who is the Sun Summoner? Spoiler alert, it is Alina herself. Alina is then brought in front of the Darkling, the general of the Second Army, the army of Grisha, and he's like, you are the Sun Summoner and you are going to help us with removing the Shadow Fold. And that is basically the premise of the story. I don't think I can tell you guys anything else. Because if I do, I will be spoiling it. But it's a fun concept with the Shadowfold and the Grisha and the Darkling, who is my favorite character. Moving on to Six of Crows, which is the spin-off of Shadow and Bones. I was so confused while watching the show because I had no idea about who these characters are. And shame on me for not knowing, because these are some of the best written characters of all times. And this book is so good. I feel like Shadow and Bones is like 3 on 5 stars. I would definitely recommend you read it because it's a cool concept. Leigh Bardugo does very well writing. But this book is a 5 on 5. And Crooked Kingdom, the second part, I finished reading it like a day before yesterday at 3 a.m. at night. I was crying my eyes out. It's set in the same Grishaverse but in a different country. We leave Ravka and we go to a separate country, the island country of Kerch, and basically the story is based in the city of Ketterdam. Shadow and Bones has this shadow thing going on which is very falsy, okay? And this Six of Crows has the heist element, and then it is set in the city of Ketterdam, which is always full of mist and fog, and I think that's very wintry, and it's not really gothic, but it does somewhat give gothic vibes. Brilliant writing, brilliant storytelling, brilliant cast, characters, just perfect. It's like a found family thing and the heist thing. It's funny and it's sad and it's thrilling and it's everything packed in 500 pages. I don't know how Leigh Bardugo does it. And continuing with Leigh Bardugo again, this book I haven't actually read, but it is on my TBR, and it's called The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I know for a fact that it is about academic rivals, and Dark Academia is perfect for fall season. So if you guys are interested in reading this, we could read this together. And that brings us to the end of the book recommendations. I hope your fall is full of really great books, really great characters, really great stories, and really cozy feelings. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will see you guys next week.